It is 99.3 Nigerian fan. Whatever your agenda, we always try to get your attention by choosing the right agenda. We give you a lovely mixture like that, gotten from a blender. So as a listener, your knowledge lead over others will never get slender. That's what we do for every single day of the monthly calendar. That makes us better than every other contender. Because we're here to serve you like a bartender, and with us, there's no retreat, no surrender. If you have evil plans against us, it's back to sender right now. Welcome to Courtside, our exclusive basketball show. Right here, right now, certainly going to be some exciting ride for us, and at the same time, too, an emotional presentation. We're going to be doing this for the next 40 minutes or so. I will not be the only one doing the talking. I have my team in here as usual, and the good thing is you can be part of the action, too, through the phone lines, Twitter, and the WhatsApp platform. I'm your host and not a ghost. I'm here to give you the best of my presentation toast because this is my duty post. And for now, I, the team, and you do control this coast. My name is Chuma Noli, and on the show for this evening, basketball legend Kobe Bryant is no more, and we'll pay tribute to him tonight. Also, we'll touch on the 2020 NBA All-Star team that has been revealed. Welcome to the show. Let's try and enjoy the ride. All right, so much to talk about this evening. Thank you for joining us one more time on Courtside. I'm delighted to be doing this and to also introduce the great guys in the house. Amaka Yao happens to be one of those, and she's ready to rumble, even though she's quite emotional. Good evening to you, Maka.
Good evening. Has been an emotional 2 days, I would say. I'm happy to be here, as always. But it's a heavy one. It's a heavy Monday. This one is a heavy one.
It is, and it's also nice to have Azubi Kionisha. It's the first time I'm hanging out with these guys in about 3 weeks. Good to see you, Azu.
Good to see you, Chuma. Great to be here again on a day where so much has been talked about Josh Winman. 24 hours of some tears, some emotions. Los Angeles still crying at this point. But what can we do? We have to come do what is professional about the job and talk about the man that actually made me start seeing basketball as basketball. Great to be here once again, Chuma.
Yeah, good to have you and good to see you. Daniel Chukuma is in house to you guys. You guys have held on. Shout out to my man, Buchiono Kalalaba, for hosting the show alongside this great team for the last fortnight or so. It's good to be back here, hanging out with the likes of Daniel. Good evening to you, Daniel.
Good evening, Chuma. Good evening, Lagos. Good evening, guys. Sorry, I'm just a little emotional right now. I haven't even slept really well, you know. It's sad. An icon. I mean, his greatness was beyond stardom right now, and he'll be missed. You know, he'll be missed.
Indeed, he will. But the show is not going to be like this, guys. We have to liven things up. I understand that it's a sad situation, but it will not be a boring affair for the listener for sure. So we have to get a life. We'll try our best to ensure that we add enough live theories as much as we are looking back at the achievements of this man and saying, why did he go so early? We also have to be grateful that we had somebody like him come on planet Earth to give us the kind of quality that he gave to us through the sport basketball, and even beyond that, his brilliance and fame and popularity transcended that sport, and that's why the rest of the world happen to be talking about him now, and not just people who are basketball fans or basketball aficionados. If you still haven't heard it, well, US basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash in the city of Calabasas in California yesterday. Bryant died at the age of 41. His daughter Diana was just 13, and they were traveling in the private helicopter when it came down and burst into flames. The LA County Sheriff said that there were no survivors from that crash. For Kobe Bryant, he's one who did so much in the sport of basketball, and that's going to be the first focus for us, by the way. As we go on with this presentation, feel free to have your say through our WhatsApp platform, our Twitter handle at NigeriaInfoFM, and also the phone lines too, which will get active as we go on. You can share with us your memory of Kobe Bryant and what he meant to you as someone who used to watch basketball, who watches basketball, or who doesn't like the sport. How did he get to you, Kobe Bryant? I remember getting back to the house yesterday evening, and I heard a guy and a lady just talking about it, and I was like, wow, everybody seems to be talking about this thing everywhere. And I saw messages on people from people on social media who are not basketball people, but they had heard the name before, and that's the thing. So you can talk to us whether you are a basketball person or not. I'm sure that you may have heard the name. What did he mean to you? You can always communicate through Twitter, WhatsApp, and the phone lines too. Now for Bryant and for basketball people, we know that he was a 5-time NBA champion, and he was widely considered as one of the greatest players in the game's history. He played his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers and retired in April 2016. His achievements were so many. He got the NBA Most Valuable Player Award in 2008, was a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. He also was NBA scoring champion twice and a 2-time Olympic champion. Well, after he left the sport of basketball, he went on to win an Oscar for Best Short Animated Film in 2018 for Dear Basketball, a 5-minute film based on a love letter to the sport that he had written in 2015. Well, so many people spoke about him when he decided to hang his boots sometime in that year, 2016, April to be precise. And we just have to take our minds back to the last moments of Kobe Bryant as a professional basketballer.
And the other forward for the final time, number 24 on the floor, 6'6", high school, 5-time world champion, Kobe Bryant.
The Lakers down 1. Will Kobe give them one last gamer? Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it! Oh, my! 58 points! And the Lakers lead! He has been great. And on his final night, it's one last glimpse of greatness.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout. You know, I grew up a diehard Laker fan. Diehard. I mean, I knew everything about every player that's ever played here. So to be drafted and then traded to this organization and to spend 20 years here, I mean, you can't write something better than this.
Well, the guy Kobe Bryant is one who will not forget in a hurry. His brilliance and also his ability to share ideas, his ability to remain humble, his ability to communicate to the fans and be friendly with so many people is something that has made us eulogize him and will make us eulogize him in years to come. So guys, let's start first off one by one. As briefly as you guys can. Where were you when you heard the news? I'm going to start with you, Daniel. And what was your reaction when you heard it? Where were you and what was your reaction?
We're having a training session yesterday at 1004 here in VI, and when the news broke, we had to stop the game. And for like an hour, we all sat down and, traded memories, and it was tough. Some people couldn't go home, some people couldn't bear it. I believe you saw me when I got back, and they saw the mood, and it was. I mean, my phone was ringing. Everybody was reaching out to me. How you doing? How you taking it? Because he played a huge role in my life in terms of the game, as a player, as an athlete, both on the court and off the court.
Okay.
So it's quite deep.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to what he meant to each and every one of us, but still on that question of where were you? And what was the reaction when you first heard the story, Azu?
I was actually lying down on the couch. Saw the news. It was actually put in by Bola on one of the groups we all belong. I was like, no, I'm not going to take this. I just turned my phone off. I lined up calls I was going to make, so I just left it. I slept off. Woke up in the middle of the night, checked again, saw more messages come through. I struggled to type one message. I just went to sleep. I didn't want to just go through that news to make sure this is not true, that something could happen in between the time of sleep and the new day. But I woke up to reality, man. But I was actually lying on the couch after a long day's meeting. So I just took the opportunity to just sleep off. No calls, nobody. I didn't receive any phone on silent till the morning.
Sad stuff.
Yeah, I was actually out with a couple of friends, and one of my friends was on one of our groups, our flag football groups, and she was like, she didn't even say anything. She just put the phone in my face and was like, look. I was like, nope. I literally said, nope, I don't believe that. Nope. And then she's now like, get on the group. I got on the group, and all of my basketball groups, all my sports groups, it was just like message after message after message, speculations. Because, the information was coming in waves. People saying this, ABC confirmed this, that. So it was like a whirlwind of like 1 hour and so many emotions. But, yeah.
Yeah, very sad stuff, really. Let's look at him now and his basketball side. He was drafted into the game, and at the point was the youngest. As that when he got into the NBA, he was the youngest player at that very stage in 1996. And he went on to play for 20 good years for the LA Lakers. He was a one franchise man, but he didn't stop his greatness, and he went on to win 5 NBA titles amidst all of the other accolades that came his way. The consistency, the ability to do things even when injured, and even on the final day he was in action in the NBA, his final official game, he went on to score 60 points. There was an NBA game where he scored as many as 80 points, which is unthinkable, actually.
81.
Yeah, for a basketballer. But sometimes it looks like we just throw around that line legend in sports too often. But this guy genuinely falls under that class, doesn't he?
It does. It does fall under that class. For a man to have made me become a fan of basketball, not just fan, start watching the games. I knew as young as I was at that time, maybe in the early 2000s, it was Kobe or nothing. It's not playing. It's not the Lakers. I'm not watching. I just go back to sleep. I wasn't a fan of LeBron James. It was too hard for me. Kobe had everything going, does a bit of dance in some of the games you see him play, enjoys the basketball, throws 3-pointers, and that's one thing we wanted to see as young guys at that time. We started watching basketball. In school, some people came to talk to us about HIV/AIDS before I knew basketball, and they mentioned Magic Johnson. That was how I got to know about Magic Johnson. Michael Jordan was a household name for everybody growing up, just like Michael Jackson at that time. But we didn't know them as basketball. I didn't know them or watch them play basketball. They were just in one of those 2 adverts we saw on TV. And that was all about Michael Jordan. But I saw Kobe Bryant play basketball. I followed everything alongside Derek Fisher, the likes of O'Neal before he left for the Miami Heat. Then we had Ariza, Paul Gasol, and the likes. That was the era I started seeing basketball as a game. And it was all about Kobe Bryant. He doesn't play. Why shouldn't he even play in the first place? I chose not to look at his life and all the things that happened before I started knowing, because I knew it was that period in 2003 when there were so much issues surrounding his career and all. But I kept all that aside. I just wanted to watch Kobe play basketball, and he was ready to entertain me, because I've chosen always entertainment, music, sports. I won't look at your lifestyle. I want to enjoy what you have to give me on the court. And that was what Kobe brought. And this is the man we're no longer going to talk about as a living person. It's really painful.
Yeah, it is very painful, that experience. He was born on the 23rd of August, 1978, and passed on the 26th of January, 2020, at that very young age of 41.
For me, we all know he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be inducted. I think the painful part is he didn't get to have that experience, the award day, and to actually, have that experience with a group of guys. Some of the people he played alongside or played against, he won't even be able to live out, that experience. Obviously, someone, I'm presuming maybe his wife or someone in his family will have to accept the award on his behalf. But it's so sad because it's like a no-brainer. We know he's going to get it. But obviously, these things, they have it takes time. So it's really painful to see that he won't be able to actually enjoy that moment. And I mean, he was the first, some of the first waves of like players coming out of high school. He was 18 years old, got into the league, went to the Lakers, and also one of the very few great players that stayed in one place, he literally just stayed on the Lakers. He never left, no matter through the ups and downs. He was always there, and he like you said, he grew up admiring that team, and literally that was like his childhood dream to go there. He went there and stayed there, and won 5 NBA championships, 2 Olympics, 17-time, I believe, All-Star, and
18, actually.
18, like he just did amazing things. And legend is the understatement.
Yeah, because it's huge. If you played in a league for 20 years and 18 of those 20 years you're in the All-Star team, man.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
It shows that you're out of this world consistently-wise.
And
he started very early
he did
and pushed
18
on to the very
straight
end.
years. There was no
Crazy
year he
stuff,
missed out.
man.
18 straight. I
Even
think.
through injury.
Yeah, came back from injury, went on to play the All-Star games. He only missed out as a younger boy when he just came into the league. And once he hit the ground running, nothing was going to stop him.
Sky's the limit.
I know, guys. 2 days back, I came back from my leave on Saturday after going to Port Harcourt to MC a week-long event and then going to Calabar to see my family. And I was thinking on Saturday, what extra am I going to bring to the show? You know, the guys have done a great job in the last 2 weeks when I was not around. So what do I bring in to ensure that people feel, hey, he's back and all that? And you know, the story of LeBron James going past Kobe Bryant when it comes to the number of points scored came on board, and I was like, okay,
That
I'm going to focus on this, and then I'll try and build up, interviews and all of that around this, and let's sell this very thing. And lo and behold, I didn't think as that Saturday evening that it was not going to be that story for me. Rather, it was going to be a story of Kobe Bryant himself passing on. There's been several conspiracy theories. I don't think I want to get into that, but I saw a cartoon series that people said may have predicted his death because he crashed in a helicopter too in that cartoon series some years back. And then there was a tweet from a certain guy who put it out in 2012 that Bryant was going to die in a helicopter crash. Well, all of these things we don't want to get into now. But for you, Daniel, looking back again at this guy's career as a basketballer, where will you rank him? Let's take away the sentiments of sympathy now because he's passed on. There's a tendency to want to say because he's died. Sadly, you want to eulogize and praise him even over perhaps what he's achieved. But for you, there's always been that conversation of himself, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, as football people love to call it GOAT, greatest of all time. For you, where did Bryant rank amongst the greatest basketballers of all time?
After Michael Jordan, it's Kobe.
Okay.
I don't think anyone can take that away from him. 3 gold medals, 2 Olympics, 1 FIBA, business franchise, body armor, making music, coming through scandal, building his family up. Kobe's a player who square you up on the court, pull up on you, dunk on you. He knows the plays. He knows the blind spots of the court. He knows the calls. I mean, that's the one player that made me go back to the basketball rule book to actually understand basic things. Because a lot of people say, oh, I can play basketball. But the thing is, if you're going to play basketball, you have to understand what basketball is all about. I learned how to run the lanes watching Kobe. I follow him with the Mamba Academy, which where they were going to before the crash.
Yeah.
You see NBA and WNBA players, college guys, and girls coming through, just trying to learn 1 or 2 things. Even Giannis, went for, Giannis, Galadon, all going to, Trey, trying to go learn 1 or 2 things from the guy. And he's someone that, LeBron James pulls the team together, but Kobe was more like, had a crazy work ethic. He's always at the gym before the game. He's always at the gym after the game. And he's coming back that same day again to, to train because he believed that, he has seen failure. He has experienced failure and he felt, let me push it all. Let me give my all. And I was watching one of the interviews and he was like, life is short. Make the best of it and shine. And that got me.
All right. Well, you guys have been gotten by us, and it's good to know you're still out there listening to the nation's first news talk and sports radio station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's going to be time for us to bring you on board, but we have to sort out the commercial break. When that is done with, then we'll return and start sharing some of your comments and tweets as well as WhatsApp messages, and also get to the phone lines. We also do have ahead on the show for this evening what others have been saying about Kobe Bryant. Some other legends across the world of sports have been speaking about him, and we'll hear from those, including Jose Mourinho, as well as thinking ahead of what legacy Bryant may have left now he's gone. There's also to come the NBA All-Star team for 2020, which has been revealed. We have that for you too. Don't touch your dial. We'll return in style.
Hi, my name is Adora Lanu, captain of the Nigerian national team, and you're listening to Courtside on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. We're back on air to satisfy your basketballing hunger as we put together a presentation that will keep you excited for much longer. That's how we carry and try and verify the stories we take so we don't end up sounding like just another rumor monger. That's why if you were to rate us on the chat, you always rank us higher than the tennis player Joe Wilfred Songa. That's how we carry more passengers than the longest Indian Tonga, as the case is. Welcome back to Courtside. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Chuma Nali, doing this alongside Amaka Nyawu, Daniel Chukuma, and also Azubike Onitsha. The good thing is we're not the only ones who are doing the talking. You also can show some walking by putting a call across to us, as well as dropping a message on Facebook, because we're streaming live on Facebook, by the way. It's facebook.com/NigeriaInfoFM. All right, that's facebook.com/NigeriaInfoFM. You can watch us from any part of the world and see the faces of the people whose voices you're hearing at the moment. We have our Twitter handle, that one that's always lighted up like a candle, at NigeriaInfoFM. There's a WhatsApp platform where you can tell us what's up, and there's also the phone lines too. So without any further ado, let's do house that do and get to hear from you. By the time we accommodate a few messages, we'll get back to more on the man who owns the show this evening, the late Kobe Bryant. We have his legacy to come and also what others have been saying about him, more like a tribute from other superstars across the world. Cardi B happens to be one of those, Lionel Messi and Ronaldo too. So let's hear from you. Here are the numbers you can dial. The lines are blinking already, but for the sake of those who don't have the numbers, here we go.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
For sure, we're keen to listen. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
Hello, I'm Mani.
From Amaka and the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be talking to you guys this evening.
Same here.
My name is Joel.
Joel, okay.
Welcome,
Yes.
Joel.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant. What can I say? It's so sad. I grew up watching Kobe. I was 10 when I watched his 81-point performance against the Toronto Raptors.
Wow.
So yes, I remember that I was also even going through one of my notes from junior secondary school where I scribbled it. I remember my mom had to pursue me to go and sleep in the middle of the night while I was watching that game on, I think, on a local TV station here.
Okay.
It's very sad. You know, Kobe was more than just a basketball player. He was an ambassador for the game.
Yeah.
Like he carried the game. He carried the game global. He carried the torch of MJ into the next era. And for younger basketball fans that don't know this, like the Lakers, it's a culture. It's not just basketball.
True.
It's a culture. Like Lakers fans, we have this bond that defies geographical and racial boundaries. And Kobe was one of us.
Well, I know that he's a great man, and if you want to keep talking about him, perhaps time will not accommodate that. So we appreciate your honest thoughts on his legacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
From you. More calls now. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Are you there? You're live on Courtside. Perhaps you're not. So let's go to the next one now. Thank you, Marka.
Hello, good evening.
Whoa.
It's clearing that person's in church, but it's still keen to want to hear. Not just hear our voices, but speak to us. Good evening. Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. Welcome.
This is Johnson on the line calling from Maja.
Okay.
Hey, Johnson.
I must say the world, sports in general, we've lost a rare icon. If you did not see him play, you would have known how good he was. He was that good. Kobe could win you games single-handedly. He could win you games on his own. Like
indeed, yeah.
He was just so good. That morning, the morning of I say morning because we are in Nigeria here.
Yes.
Around 4 a.m., I stayed awake to watch the Lakers game against the 76ers. And when LeBron James surpassed his record, I saw his tweet. I even retweeted that tweet.
That was his last. That was his last tweet.
That was the last tweet.
Yeah.
I retweeted his tweet, and I went out on Sunday, and I came back in the evening. I was just going through my social media feed. All I could see was Kobe's gone. Like, it was, I don't know.
It was so surreal, I guess. Difficult to accept.
It's so difficult to accept. Like, the game against Utah Jazz, my final game against Utah Jazz was something else. Just despite his age, he still scored 60 massive points. 60 points. Second highest points in the game scored by an NBA player. The records are there. He's just...
There's so many of them, and it's difficult to recount everything. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time with us. We'll take one more call before we progress to more on the show. Good evening.
Hello,
good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, this is Samuel calling from Ikorodu.
All right.
Actually, I was on my way home last night. I was listening to a program on Nigeria Info, and the guy just said R.I.P. Kobe when he wanted to play. I was like, no, that cannot be brand. So I rushed home, opened CNN. Wow.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, till now, not just myself. I can't believe it.
Very sad.
I can't believe it. So I mean, the LA Lakers. I mean, the basketball. Kobe made me to like basketball. I used to hear about Michael Jordan, but it was Kobe who actually made me to really fall for the game. When I was learning how to play, it was Kobe that was my role model. Man, R.I.P. to him, man. So sad. Sad.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. We indeed do appreciate that. I'll go on Twitter right now where Forever, Joy Forever, with the handle Joy Forever 75 says, Kobe was a legend. God will comfort his family, fans, and friends. I started following basketball and watching STV late into the morning before going to work to watch basketball. Longman, the handle is at Ejiro Obire, says, I was literally watching a documentary about him on Friday. That documentary made me love him the more. We will miss him. R.I.P. Mamba. Femi the Great Pundit says, the name Kobe Bryant transcends basketball. It reverberates even other sports like football. His attainment goes beyond just his entertainment. He has so much abilities that he was felt even in so many charities. Forever you live on, Kobe, you live on. I can see the rhymes there, Femi. Well done. And to other messages responding to tweets on the show for this evening. Ederine Victor says, good one, Mr. Chuma. I thought as much as considering what happened on the past hours of basketball. Nice one. We'll miss Kobe and Nips. That's according to Owunari George. And for Hammond _ Lucky, you say R.I.P. Mamba, R.I.P. Jayana. My eyes are still heavy. Well, just to give you an idea of the sad incident itself, in a statement on Sunday afternoon, the city of Calabar said it heard the news with great sadness. The aircraft went down in a remote field of Las Virgenes around 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Nobody on the ground was hurt. Other eyewitnesses told Celebrity News site TMZ they heard the helicopter engine sputtering before it went down. The LA County Sheriff's Department shared pictures from the scene of the accident showing a fire truck and smoke emerging from the hills. We've gone on to see a few videos from that too, which is gruesome and very sad. Let's go on now to what the great people around the world have been saying about Kobe Bryant. Like we've repeated a few times on this show already this evening, his achievements and his personality transcended the sport of basketball. So we'll hear right now from Doc Rivers, who's the coach of the LA Clippers, and then get to listen to some other people who are not basketballers.
I just don't have a lot to say. The news is just devastating to everybody who known him a long time. And, you know, he means a lot to me, obviously. You know, he was such a great opponent, you know. It's what you want in sports. He had that DNA that very few athletes can ever have. You know, the Tiger Woods and the Michael Jordans. You know, it's funny. I was getting to know him more since he retired. You know, yeah, this is a tough one.
He was in tears and struggled to speak. Doc Rivers, the coach of Los Angeles Clippers, who are city rivals to the LA Lakers. How about those who are not involved in basketball directly but are greats in other sports? There's none bigger than Tiger Woods in golf, and he also had good things to say about Kobe Bryant.
The fire. He burns so competitively hot, and the desire to win. He brought it each and every night on both ends of the floor. I mean, not too many guys can say that throughout NBA history, that he'd lock up on D. Obviously, he was dominant on the offensive side, but anytime he was in the game, he'd take on their best player and just shut him down for all 48 minutes. And that was one of the more impressive things, I think, throughout this entire career. And then, when he ruptured his Achilles and went to the foul line and made his shots. I mean, that's tough.
Tough to accept he's gone, but also tough to realize so much that he achieved even when he had injury issues too. And those are the exact words of Tiger Woods. Now we can move on to a man people in the world of football love and celebrate so much. And that man has even alluded to the fact that he shares a few traits with Kobe Bryant. He's one of the best coaches ever in the game of football, Jose Mourinho.
I read one quote, a little work about Kobe Bryant, and if we have to speak about some example of professionalism and serial winner, Kobe is a great example in his sport, in the world of sport, where he says, people say that I'm difficult, but I'm only difficult for the ones that don't share my principles. So all the colleagues that share his principles, they just love him. The ones that don't like him are the ones that don't share the principles. And with me, he's basically the same.
Jose Mourinho says he shares that ideology with the late Kobe Bryant. So the eulogizing will continue for this man. And I feel pained, really, that we always have to talk about people like this when they are dead, when they can no longer hear about it. So can we just learn to praise people more when they are alive? It's quite heartbreaking when this happens. We'll move on now to the legacy he leaves on, and I'm sure that everybody in the studio right now is itching to have a say on that. And as much as I focused on Kobe Bryant, it doesn't mean that we don't pay respect to the other 8 people who died in the crash. And before the end of the show, I'll try and just run through their names, the ones that we have available. But certainly one that stands out is, everyone stands out actually, but from a Kobe family angle, it's his daughter, Gianna. She was supposed to be the next big thing after the man, because he had no son or sons, and he was proud of his 4 daughters. One is 17 years of age, the second one, Gianna, 13, and she's the one that died with him in that helicopter crash. So we're going to be asking the question, what next? Now he's gone. As far as his legacy is concerned, Gianna was the one who should have carried the torch in basketball.
The best thing that happens is when we go out and fans will come up to me and she'll be standing next to me and they'll be like, hey, you gotta have a boy. UNV gotta have a boy, man. You have somebody carry on the tradition, the legacy. She's like, Oi, I got this. You know, boy, for that, I got you. Like, that's right. Yes, you do. You got this.
That's so cool. I have to play it again.
The best thing that happens is when we go out and fans will come up to me and she'll be standing next to me and they'll be like, hey, you gotta have a boy. UNV gotta have a boy, man. You have somebody carry on the tradition, the legacy. She's like, Oi, I got this. You know, boy, for that, I got you. Like, that's right. Yes, you do. You got this.
If she were still alive, she would have been the one to get it. But she's dead with him.
Yeah.
What legacy does Kobe Bryant leave behind, guys?
For me, I want to say something. As much as we want to talk about the stuff, like Miles Monroe will always say, a man who also died in a crash like this, he died empty. You're not going to go to Kobe's burial ground and start looking for how many talents he did or things he was supposed to do he didn't do. He couldn't have finished up, but I don't think there's any further thing Kobe would have achieved. Look at the career with blistering records that it would take decades and centuries to chase and get. A man who scored over 30,000 points, the youngest to actually do that in his time. The legacy is Kobe. Whether his daughter comes back to play, whether any of the 3 daughters left come back to play basketball, he's done what he has to do. He could just come out in some other form and say, oh, this guy plays like Kobe. That's what we'll see someday. And anything they do, I want to do it like Kobe. like Daniel said, he modeled his way of basketball. That's the legacy I'm looking forward to. It doesn't have to be my daughter carrying on. Where is Pele's daughter playing basketball, playing football? Where is Michael Jordan's son playing football, basketball at this point in time? He's done what he had to do, and for me, he still stands as my number one because I grew up seeing him. I watched him play basketball at a time when we didn't know what basketball was like. As far as I'm concerned in Nigeria, I saw Scottie Pippen, I saw Michael Jordan, but they were just highlights. This one I watched as a basketball player, and at the point I thought it was the Lakers I loved. I didn't know it was Kobe until he retired, and I started seeing that the soft spot for them started reducing until I became a bit of a dub at this point in time. That's just on the light end. But Kobe is a legacy.
Yeah.
Whether he has somebody to take over from any of the daughters or not, he's done what he had to do. I think that's fine enough.
How about the rest of you, Daniel and Maka?
His daughter was like a split image on the court, just the same way Kobe was. Playing on the 10 through to 15 Mamba Academy. I watched almost all her videos last night, and I was like, damn, this girl good. Like everything that dad did, she pushed herself to do. Yeah. She went for competitions and never wanted to accept taking second place. She always wanted to push the team. So Kobe's legacy lives on in everybody. I mean, look at what LeBron has achieved. And he looks up to Kobe. Kobe handed him the sneaks he wore. Even if Kobe was size 14 and LeBron was 15, he still wore it to play, and that speaks a lot. And it's
hard
much.
to have to look back at the man as someone who has come and gone. It's really difficult to accept that reality, but great people have come and gone. Somehow the world has still moved on. A reminder to all of us that after all said and done, there's nothing in this life. Yeah, I know we know that already, but when these things happen, it just finds a way to reverberate such thoughts around our minds and just remind us that, come do your best and do everything that is right, so when you leave, people can say good things about you. That's the reality of life. Maka, moving forward now, what next for the sport? Because he was a great guy. It's more like when you say Usain Bolt in athletics, someone who also sold the sport to other people. Yes, we have LeBron James now. Yes, before him we had the brilliance of Michael Jordan. But James, certainly one who's going to be feeling the impact. I saw a video of him in tears yesterday after
right from the airport. He was.
That was a really sad video. You can tell the impact that Kobe Bryant had on LeBron James' play, on his life. I think Kobe became a mentor for a lot of, not just people who watched him for a distance, but those young guys growing up and playing the game, the likes of Trae Young. He became a mentor for a lot of the guys. They looked up to him. They wanted to play against him. They wanted to play alongside him. They wanted to be good like him. And I think for LeBron James, it's so ironic because I feel like the tweet was almost like passing the torch. It's like he was handing the torch to LeBron, like, all right, here you go, take over.
So take over.
Exactly. Which is kind of, like scary. That was like his final Instagram post.
And also tweets too, yeah.
And tweet, right. So the future for basketball, I think guys are going to play remembering his legacy and playing for him. I'm not a Lakers fan, but Daniel, I must say, I kind of want the Lakers to win just because of this. Yeah. Like, I feel like they need to win. Like, it would just, kind of. I swear, it just needs to be the Cinderella story. Like, just let the Lakers win this year so that, everything can make sense. But, I mean, not that it will ever make sense, but it'll just make us feel a little bit better about what we're all going through right now. And I think it's amazing to see the world is actually mourning him, and I think the world is going to play in his memory. Young kids are going to grow up and see videos of him and wanting to aspire to be like him. And for all the young guys in the NBA and LeBron, and just, I think all they can do is carry on his legacy, which is maybe doing someone needs to continue Mamba Academy, right? So someone has to continue Mamba Academy and maybe some of the dreams and some of the things that he wanted to do. I'm sure he shared with his friends and with those of the basketball greats that are still around now. So for them, Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal, let them take up the torch and continue his legacy.
I'm just going to read that final tweet of his, which happened to be what he posted on Instagram too, celebrating the man King James. He tweeted, continuing to move the game forward at King James. Much respect, my brother. And 33,644 points he put up there. That's just to celebrate James for surpassing his own record, and he died less than 24 hours after that tweet. James can move on. I've had people criticize and castigate James on Twitter, which is madness for me. They say he's not gone on social media to post anything, and I don't think you have to post anything to show that you are mourning somebody. Perhaps the way James handles it is, I'm blank, I'm not going anywhere. Let me just look at this and reflect on this friend of mine, how he's passed on. It's not about going on social media to tweet, I miss you. That's what the world has taught you now. Where it feels like if you don't go, then it's like you're not mourning the guy. We're going to go on social media, by the way, for ourselves now to read out your messages on Facebook. And I've also seen a few people say it's going to be just like Maka said, some sweet fairy tale leave. We can have LeBron James go on to win the title with the LA Lakers and shout just like he did when he won the Cleveland Cavaliers the NBA title some years ago.
Arena is alive and roaring as we get set for Game 7. There's the starting lineups. Iguodala to inbound. Shumpert trying to stay with Curry. Catches one dribble, steps back, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound tip taken by Spades. Final seconds. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Yeah, so people were saying it's going to be nice to have him shout, Kobe, this is for you! Something like that. We hope it happens. It's going to be nice if it happens. Let's get back to you guys right now on Facebook. So many messages have poured in, Twitter, and the phone line to get active again just before we wrap up with this presentation tonight. And this one is from Simeon Uro, who says, who's that fine babe there now? Okay, her name is Amakanyao. And from Tone says, good evening, guys. It's sad to hear that King Kobe Bryant is gone. R.I.P. OG says, rest in peace, Kobe. And Chigozie Samuel shares the thoughts. I was at home scrolling through my WhatsApp status when I bumped into an update about Kobe. I scrolled past, then went back to read it again. I was shocked to see the list. From there, I went straight to Sky Sports, and it turned out to be true. It's a huge loss to the sporting world. I pray God to give the families the fortitude to bear the loss. Amen. Prince Dozier says, my condolence goes to the family and friends, his family and friends. You say, Olusegun shares the sentiments. Simeon Uro, see your life. Okay, he's responding to Simeon, who was saying, who's that fine babe, when we're talking about something as sensitive as this one. Ocheze shares the thoughts. Kobe Bryant, may your soul rest in peace. Son Khan says, I was in my church fellowship when my friend called me. My mentor is gone. Very sad stuff. Thank you for all your comments on Facebook. That's facebook.com/NigeriaInfoFM. We're streaming this show live, and you can tune in. It's not too late to watch perhaps the final 5 minutes of this presentation. We have to use those final 5 minutes now to talk about the NBA All-Star Game for 2024, February 2020 to be precise, after I take one more call. Hello, good evening. Hi, good evening. All right, it's glaring you're not there. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Philip. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, this other deal, so the master's money up on the line.
All right.
Yeah, this is starting. When I have a dream, I couldn't listen to my radio. I just switched my radio off. I went my son about it. I was very, very weak. That's where my couldn't go to the farm and to get it done. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. You can help me with that, Maka. Thanks for calling in. So let's get now to the NBA All-Star team for 2020. Kobe Bryant was in a team like that. 18 good times. Who are those who will be in the starting five for the big fixture for this year?
2019 All-Star, make some noise!
Now let's meet tonight's All-Stars, beginning with Team Giannis. One of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. a league MVP, a finals MVP, an NBA champion, and a 14-time All-Star from the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki. A 3-time All-Star from the Milwaukee Bucks, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now let's meet Team LeBron. MVP, Finals MVP, a 3-time NBA champion, and one of the greatest players in the history of the Miami Heat, a 13-time All-Star. Here's Dwayne Wade. And now the starters for Team LeBron. The reigning Kia MVP Most Valuable Player, a 7-time All-Star, and one of the hottest scoring streaks in league history, from the Houston Rockets, James Harden.
All right, guys, that's to give you the kind of picture that you have in the month of February 2020. That's the kind of ambience you get. That was for 2019, by the way. And of course, for 2020, we're hoping to get that team announcer. He did a great job, and I was trying to mimic him. I think I need to get to that level. Quality stuff from him, by the way. So for the Eastern Conference, the starters for 2020 will be Trae Young, who plays for the Atlanta Hawks, Kemba Walker of the Boston Celtics, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks, Pascal Siakam of Toronto Raptors, and Joel Embiid, who plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. And for the Western Conference, the starters are Luka Doncic, who is a Dallas Mavericks player, James Harden of Houston Rockets, Kawhi Leonard, that's the name is, for the Los Angeles Clippers, and Anthony Davis, who plays for the LA Lakers. Not forgetting the captain of the side, LeBron James, who's also a player for the Lakers. This is going to be James's 16th appearance in the All-Star game. He's 2 behind Kobe Bryant. People, what do you make of these starters?
The West is going to do some sweeping. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think we pretty much knew these were going to be majority of the starters. So, I mean, it pretty much mirrored what the voting was looking like. The West, to me, does look a lot stronger than the East. If I had to put my money on one side, I would definitely put it on the West. I mean, you have LeBron, you have Luka, you have James Harden, you have a lot of people that's gonna do a lot of work. AD, Anthony Davis. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And I would also like to see what the reserves, the bench also looks like, what that panned out to be like.
In the coming days, I can imagine we'll find out our time is not smiling at us anymore, so we have to get ready to run away from here. 30 seconds each, if you don't mind. Daniel and Azul, the starters.
Okay, the starters. I think it's an African team for the Eastern Conference. 2 Cameroonians, born in Cameroon, Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid. Giannis, the big man right there. I think I want to disagree. I think I want to disagree a bit with what Mark has just said. Yeah, quality. I think it's more of experience against talent, and that's what we have for the Eastern Conference. Talent everywhere. Kemba Walker might just be that man. I think will struggle a bit to contend with what these guys are doing currently for their teams. It's not done badly. Also, this season. Trae Young is that youngster who is doing really well.
All right.
Luka Doncic, watch out for him.
Daniel.
Look at Doncic controlling the floor, Harden taking the threes, LeBron, Anthony, sky high, post plays, and Kawhi just finish them.
Yeah. All right, feels like Mortal Kombat's now finishing. And on that note, we have to finish ourselves for this presentation for this evening. Time is done, Daniel.
I just wanted to take one quote from Kobe, and this quote always hits me every time. Kobe, in Kobe's words, said, "The beauty in being blessed with talent is rising above doubters to create a beautiful moment."
All right. Great. So on that note, we rest our case. My name is Chuma Noli. Thanks to Amaka Yanwu, Daniel Chukuma, and also Azibiko Onisha for being part of this broadcast. Thanks so much to you for not just listening, but also contributing to. Next up for us will be Game On after this commercial break. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info.